On this week's edition of the Political Stock Exchange, I intend to dive deep into electoral data in Madhya Pradesh. We'll try and see what the data is telling us about what may happen on the 17th of November when the 230 seats of Madhya Pradesh go to the polls. And to talk about the build-up in Madhya Pradesh just ahead of polling, I'm joined on the PSC this week by my colleague Rajdeep Sardesai. He's been travelling in all the election-bound states, including in Madhya Pradesh. We have with us also Yashwant Deshmukh, the lead cephalogist at C-Voter. We've got Charan Singh Sapra, national spokesperson of the Congress. He's been in around Madhya Pradesh and especially in Indore for the last 1 month. Tuhin Sinha is the national spokesperson of the BJP. And I have Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist and commentator. And what I want to do first up is walk across to the election intelligence dashboard and show you how this election is much easier for the BJP to win than it is for the Congress. And this is not some rhetoric, but try and explain that through data. This is the starting point on the 17th. 230 seats in the Madhya Pradesh Assembly in the last elections. The Congress won 114 on counting day. The BJP won 109. The situation changed later when the BJP engineered defections. Jyotiraditya Scindia and 20 plus MLAs came over, so the situation changed. But this is what it looked like on counting day. If I do a strength scan of both parties, you should observe how the BJP has many more safe seats in Madhya Pradesh than does the Congress. So I've classified seats here into 4 categories: A, B, C, D. A category seats are those seats which the same party, in this case the BJP, has won in every election over the last 3 elections. So if you won the same seat in every poll over the last 3 polls, it's considered a relatively safe seat. It's considered a safe seat. If you've won a particular seat twice in 3 elections, it's considered a relatively safe seat. So that gets categorized as a B category seat. If you won a seat only once in 3 elections, you call it relatively weak. That's C. So C is relatively weak, and D are the no-hoper seats, seats which you've lost in every poll in 3 successive elections. So those are D category seats. So if you look at the data from Madhya Pradesh, the BJP has 58 A category seats. So seats which they can almost imagine are virtually in their pockets when counting starts on the 3rd of December. That's what the BJP will be hoping for. And 21 relatively safe seats, seats which they've won twice out of the last 3 elections. If you now compare this with the same data for the Congress, in Madhya Pradesh, the Congress has only 10 safe seats, 10 pakki seats, which they can with confidence say that these are Congress bastions, we won't lose them. Only 10 seats that they've won in every election over the last 3 elections. They've got 21 relatively safe seats, which means seats that they've won in 2 elections over the last 3 elections. They've got 41 relatively weak seats, seats which they've won only once in 3 polls. And the Congress starts on the 17th of November with 75 weak seats, seats which they have lost in every election over the last 3 elections. So what that does is give you a sense of how the BJP, relative to the Congress, starts out stronger with 58 safe seats. The Congress only with 10 safe seats. The Congress with 75 weak seats. The BJP only with 11 weak seats. So just as the match, if you were looking at, say, India and New Zealand, and looking at their past track record for what may happen in Wankhede on Wednesday, their past track record tells you the odds in Madhya Pradesh seem over the last several elections to favor the BJP. I want to go across first to Rajdeep Sardesai. You've been traveling around Madhya Pradesh. Conventional wisdom amongst all the political journalists and the pundits was that there was anti-incumbency and that the BJP was on the defensive. Through the Ladli Behna scheme, Shivraj Singh Chauhan and the government doled out cash. They thought that's a game changer, and that's taken them over the Congress in the BJP's own calculation. What's the mood that you picked up? In your estimate, how is polling day likely to go? Rajdeep.
You know, Rahul, when I went to Madhya Pradesh, I went with the belief, which was felt by many journalists, both on the ground in Madhya Pradesh and in Delhi, that there is strong anti-incumbency, and therefore it is a state where it is advantage Congress. I must confess, I didn't see as much of anti-incumbency as was being suggested, what I saw is what I call the fatigue factor. It's very interesting. The word used very often in Madhya Pradesh today is thakawat, and it's a boredom with both the parties, with both the BJP and the Congress, which really don't seem to be too different from each other, either ideologically, even the same leaders, the same candidates, not enough sitting MLAs being changed. So that's what I saw on the ground. Yes, localized anti-incumbency. So against local MLAs, there is anti-incumbency. So that graphic that you put at the start is very interesting. I think the parties where the sitting MLAs have been repeated, even if they've been MLAs who won twice before, the public out there believes that MLAs have not served them well in the last 5 years. You've had defections bringing down a government. You've had 2 years of COVID where many MLAs went missing. You've had corruption at the localized level. You've had falling incomes. You've had job concerns. You've had crises over paper leaks and the way exams are conducted. So I sensed a general localized anti-incumbency, not so much against Shivraj Singh Chauhan or against the BJP or Narendra Modi, certainly not. But at the local level, many MLAs are on notice, Rahul. So you may well see a number of seats switching hands. Now, where does that leave these two major parties is uncertain, as we saw in 2018, where it went right down to the wire. I think the one X factor, Rahul, which may have changed this election slightly is Shivraj Singh Chauhan's cash handouts, especially for women. About 1.3 crore women have benefited from these schemes. Now, even if the women want more than just 1,250 rupees per month, you get a sense that they feel at least that some of their sense of despondency or disillusionment has been contained through these 1,250 rupees. I'm not sure how much of a difference that will make on the ground, but as we've seen, Rahul, in all the polls, whoever gets the majority of the women voters usually wins. So that's something for Shivraj Singh Chauhan to hold on to. On the other hand, I think the Congress is hoping that this local anti-incumbency that I spoke about is much more widespread. Just one last caveat, Madhya Pradesh is a very difficult state to predict because it's not one state. If you move from Gwalior, Chambal to Mahakoshal through Malwa, Nimad, the political climate changes dramatically. You move from a tribal scheduled tribe reserve seat and go to an Indore, the politics changes dramatically. So it may not be easy to find a pattern. The only thing I noticed, as I said, was a sense of fatigue with the way politics has been practiced in Madhya Pradesh over the last 20, 25 years, almost as if this state is caught in some kind of a time warp.
Let me try and explain what Rajdeep is saying on the election intelligence dashboard. And I'll take you through the region-wise map of Madhya Pradesh. And the point which you need to note really, and I'll talk to Yashwant Deshmukh about that, is that this is not one election. This is different elections in different parts of the state. I'll take Bagelkhand as an example to start out with. 30 seats in Bagelkhand. In the 2018 elections, despite the fact that the BJP lost across the state, they picked up 24 out of the 30 seats. The Congress picked up only 6 in the region of Bagelkhand, which includes places like Chitrakoot, like Simor, like Singrauli. Let's now come to Bundelkhand as the next region that we are looking at. In Bundelkhand, the battle much tighter. 26 seats here, the BJP picking up 14, the Congress picking up 10. So much tighter battle in Bundelkhand. Let's now come to Gwalior Chambal. And remember, this is where Jyotiraditya Scindia and the rebel leaders of the Congress who came on board the BJP with him, and the union ministers, the likes of Kailash Vijayvargiya, the likes of Narendra Singh Tomar, they're largely fighting in and around the Gwalior Chambal region. 34 seats here. The Congress last time picked up a whopping 26 of them, the BJP only 7. So the Congress virtually sweeping Gwalior Chambal. This time, can they repeat that performance? Can the BJP do better because they've got Jyotir batting for them this time? That will become very important to note. Let's now look at the Bhopal region, the area around the capital. 20 seats here. The BJP won 14 of them. The Congress only 6. So Bhopal went very strongly with the BJP. Let's now come to Mahakoshal. In the area of Mahakoshal, there are 47 seats, the largest region of Madhya Pradesh. The Congress won 28 of them. The BJP won only 18 of them. And that again is interesting because you've got an area where the Congress has won 28 seats out of 47. The BJP picking up only 18. It looks far more pro-Congress. This is the area also where Kamal Nath comes from. Chhindwara falls in this area. From there, let me now come to Malwa. In the 55 seats of Malwa, you've got the Congress at 28, the BJP at 26. So in Malwa, a dead heat, 28 versus 26. A very tight fight in Malwa. And finally, I'll come to Nimar, a very small region, the smallest of the state, only 18 seats here. The Congress won 10, the BJP 6. As you go region by region in Madhya Pradesh, you get a sense that it's not one election which has overarching impact across the length and the breadth of the state. Rather, there are different dynamics in different regions. And Yashwant Deshmukh, what your poll at Sea Voter has been throwing out again and again is that it's not just in 2018. This time too, you're anticipating different trends from different regions. It's not one pan Madhya Pradesh result. Rather, it's a regional breakup where each region will decide what happens just in that region, which will, as an aggregate, add up to what happens in Madhya Pradesh, but not as a one pan Madhya Pradesh result.
Absolutely, Rahul. And actually, your graphics of ABCD is brilliant one, because I was looking at it, and if we can have that on the screen side by side, it would be a wonderful thing to analyze, because you look into the A and B part of the BJP and A and B part of the Congress, and you realize the spots with the dark saffron and the dark blue, and you can realize, you can very well mark out the region of Malwa and Bhopal together as the most saffron-most areas, and then you can mark out the Chambal Baghelkhand area as the bluest areas. So what is happening over here is that there are these 4 regions which are pretty much in these 2 party pockets. You have just shown the last election results. We have seen the tracker results, and also now we are looking at the historical context of the last multiple elections that you are in the data intelligence unit team has done. A brilliant graphic, I must say. And that tells us one thing very clearly. The seats which are considered as stronghold of both the ends are basically the seats which they have not just been winning multiple times, but also the seats which they have been winning with huge margins. Literally huge margins. If you look into some of the seats that BJP is winning in Bhopal or has been winning in Bhopal and Malwa region, you will probably confuse it with the Lok Sabha election margin rather than an assembly seat margin. Just like we have seen, Radeep had pointed out during the Gujarat elections as well. So these 4 regions are kind of assorted as the strongholds. What BJP was expecting with Jyotiraj Scindia coming in and his camp coming in from the regions of Chambal and Baghelkhand, Bundelkhand region, that they will probably get some kind of a swing voter. However, in our tracker, it came out just the other way around, that there was a lot of turmoil in the rank and file of the BJP because of the newcomers coming in, and that is not taking place. So essentially, Rahul, what my gut feeling is, and what the data of the tracker in the last 1 year has been suggesting as well, is that the election is essentially going to be decided by the region of Mahakaushal at large, and to some extent the Baghelkhand region.
Okay, so let me just quickly call up Mahakaushal and Baghelkhand. You're saying those are the 2 regions which are most important. So let me show our viewers what happened in these regions last time. Mahakaushal, the area around Chhindwara, the Congress picked up 28, the BJP only 18 out of these 47 seats. Yashwant Deshmukh saying Mahakaushal will be very important, and he also mentions Baghelkhand. Now remember, in Baghelkhand, the BJP had swept 24 seats out of the 30 last time. The Congress had picked up only 6. So Yashwant's analysis says it's Mahakaushal and Baghelkhand which will determine what happens in these elections. I want to now show you the swing scan. Now this is important because it shows you the seats which tend to swing from one party to another party and have done so in every election over the last 3 elections. So those are the seats we classify as swing seats. There are 162 swing seats in Madhya Pradesh. The Congress picked up a disproportionate number of those. 104 swing seats went to the Congress in the last elections. The BJP picked up only 51. And if you'd recall, Amitabh Tiwari, the Congress last time had a lot of roll of the dice coming their way, where imagine if this is Teen Patti or whatever it is that you play on Diwali, it just so happens that luck seems to be favoring you. And in 2018 in Madhya Pradesh, luck did seem to be favoring the BJP, the Congress. But remember, you can't really depend on luck, because luck is, well, just luck. So therefore, it's not something you want to be depending on. But they did get lucky in 2018 during the counting, which means that there is no guarantee that they will have another lucky day. Do you believe at all, Amitabh, in luck? That it's just on the day that things are going your way, there's a lot of luck in cricket, on the day that things are going your way, the same ball goes past third man for a six, or you could just get caught out on the fence. Do you think luck plays a role? How do you see this battle shaping up in terms of all that we've discussed so far, Amitabh?
The luck definitely plays a role, and as you have shown on the screen, the swing seats and the strong and the weak seats tend to pull down the Congress. Even in 2018, the election was very similar as now. There's not much of a difference, 15-year anti-incumbency versus a 20-year anti-incumbency. But Congress was not able to cross the halfway mark despite a favorable mahal. Last time there was a Mansoor firing, there was a Swarn Andolan, and there was a huge SC/ST Atrocities Act issue. Because they need a strike rate of 75% to win the state, from 116 seats out of 175 sort of seats. So that's why the Congress gets pulled down. Now, in this election in 2018, for me, the Congress needs to hold on to Gwalior Chambal, despite Scindia switching sides, which Yashwant Ji's tracker is showing it is doing, sort of. And it needs to hold on to Nimad, which is the ST belt, which is again sort of doing, but it needs to make gain in the Bagelkhand region, which is the Bundelkhand plus Vindh. Vindh was the region which is a significantly higher upper caste population, which backed the BJP despite the Swarn Andolan. Otherwise, BJP would have lost by a bigger margin. This time also, all the eggs of the Congress are in the Bagelkhand region. Yashwant Ji's tracker is showing that most of the gains are coming from Bagelkhand, which is Vindh plus Bundelkhand. Here, the BSP and the SP, the OBC politics and the Dalit politics plays a role. These parties, like BSP, 80% of BSP's votes of the entire state is from Gwalior Chambal and Bundelkhand Vindh region. 70% of the votes of others is from Gwalior Chambal and Bagelkhand region. BSP was third, or rather BSP got more than margin victory in 57 seats, out of which 47 are in Gwalior Chambal. So if the BSP and the SP are able to hold on to what they have done in the past, then they could spoil the apple cart of both the parties, largely the Congress, because the Congress is banking a lot on these two regions plus Nimad to make a comeback.
Okay, Tuhin Sinha, we've seen this tape of Narinder Singh Tomar's son viral on social media in Madhya Pradesh and elsewhere. We're seeing Devinder, the son, describe this as a fake audio, fake video. Do you think, are you concerned that that will have purchase? Because it calls into question the BJP's claim of na khaunga, na khane dunga, where you've got the son of a union minister openly talking about, money exchanging hands. He's basically sounding like a wheeler dealer.
Well, good evening, Rahul. Good evening, everybody. To the best of our knowledge, it is a fake video. A similar video had come out around 5 days ago, after which Mr. Tomar had lodged an FIR seeking investigation. Congress is completely frustrated today. It's a desperate act of Congress to hit back at us for the Mahadev scam in neighboring Chattisgarh. Because if you actually look at it, a lot of factors. I heard Rajdeep say that this time there is not much of an anti-incumbency vote. Rajdeep tends to be a little conservative when it comes to BJP. Trust me, there is a pro-incumbency vote playing out in Madhya Pradesh. The deft, the flawless infrastructure creation, which is now visible, which was not so visible in 2018 elections, but which is now visible. The schemes for women, where 1.3 crore women have been directly benefited. And a whole lot of social welfare schemes. They have created a pro-incumbency vote, and we are on course for anything between 47 to 48% vote share and 130 plus seats. Because look at what the Congress has been speaking now. Kamal Nath has been doling out threats to government officials. Rahul Gandhi, even today or yesterday, he was talking about Make in India not picking up, whereas 98% of the total mobile phones. So they are in a time war. They don't know the issues that they can really capitalize on because they are not in the game as of now.
Okay, Charan Singh Sapra, the data which we showed our viewers from the election intelligence dashboard clearly shows it's much tougher just cephalogically for the Congress to win in Madhya Pradesh than it is for the BJP. The BJP has turned MP into a saffron heartland over the past couple of decades, and therefore just electorally it's much tougher for the Congress to win than it is for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh.
Rahul, as per your data, it must be showing that it is tougher for Congress party. But let me tell you, when I am on the ground and I am here since 1 month, I have been visiting...
Can I just say, it's not my data, this is Election Commission data. I'm just processing it, compiling it, curating it and showing it to you. But this is not data I cooked up. This is just facts in terms of past electoral trends. But please go on.
It's nothing about cooked up data. Well, I respect your data, whatever you are showing. I'm not having a screen in front of me, so I don't know. I tend to forget also the data. So whatever you are talking about Bundelkhand or you are talking about the Gwalior-Chambal region, let me tell you, in Gwalior-Chambal region, in spite of Jyotiraditya Scindia not being with us, we are going to gain in that region. And there are various reasons for that, including that there are other BJP stalwarts who are not accepting the leadership of Jyotiraditya Scindia, like Narendra Singh Tomar, like Prabhat Jha, like Narottam Mishra. They are not accepting Scindia's leadership there. So there are various reasons. Now, at the ground level also, the major issues in Madhya Pradesh are inflation, the rising unemployment, the corruption. You just spoke about Narendra Singh Tomar's son's video. Now, let me tell you, this is one video. There are two videos which have come. And today the third video has come where a person in Canada is agreeing that it is his conversation with the minister's son. So what are they going to do about that? How are they going to answer? Why are not they instituting an inquiry into it? What are the other agencies, the income tax or the CBI or the ED doing in this respect? Where Prime Minister is saying...
You want to answer that, Tuhin Sinha? Here you've got a clear admission. One second, I'll come back to you. We saw how in Chhattisgarh on the Mahadev app scam, the agency is pressed into action in double quick time. Here there's a very serious video that's come out where something is being said. It may or may not be true. I have no way of knowing and establishing myself. But nobody even seems to be investigating it at this moment. No ED, no CBI.
No, it was, Rahul, it was Mr. Tomar who went to the police station. He filed an FIR saying that this video is fake and they need to start the investigation. The situation is completely different vis-a-vis Chhattisgarh. If in Chhattisgarh, certain allegations have been made against the CM by the handler who was supposed to give him 5 crore rupees and Mr. Soni, who claims to be the owner, why are they not proceeding against Mr. Soni? Why are the officials who claim, who are believed to have, you can come in after I complete, Mr. Sapra, have some patience. Why are the officials who are named by Mr. Soni and who are still working for the government, why are they not denying what Mr. Soni is saying? He has mentioned the event, the date when the meeting was set up with the CM, Mr. Baghel. He has mentioned the place. He has mentioned the chronology of events, and yet they are not proceeding.
Okay, let Charan Sapra respond before I go to Milind Ghatwai. That there is no comparison. You've got an accused talking about money being given to the Chief Minister and his associates, and therefore that needed to be probed. Here, Devinder Tomar is actually himself asking for a probe and has filed an FIR.
Rahul, वो हिंदी में कहते हैं कि चोर कभी कहता है क्या मैंने चोरी किया है. The accused is saying, here the actual person who has done conversation with Devendra Singh Tomar, he is saying that it is my conversation. I have spoken to him about 100 crores and transactions of 50 crores and 15 crores and 18 crores. He is committing. The third person is committing. And this is the single case about which we are talking. What about the other cases? There was a pension ghotala of Kailash Vijayvargiya, which this government has, they have not inquired into it. There was another Siyas Mela ghotala. What BJP has to say about that? It was a ghotala of more than 2,000 crores, which happened in Ujjain. this pension Gotala happened in Indore. So BJP has no
Okay,
answers
Milind
for this.
Gadhwai,
So
are these issues having any
the issues
traction
at the ground
on the
make no
ground
difference.
or around polling? Is it building up, or is it just narrative and talk on TV which doesn't impact viewer behavior in your view? Milind?
Are you talking of Narendra Singh Tomar's son's video?
Yes, I'm saying that. Is it having any purchase on the ground, or do you think it's just a minor irritation?
I don't think it has any traction on ground. If we go by what happened in the past, for example, Vacuum scam, that was a huge scam that happened in 2013. It affected lakhs of people. And yet, the elections which were held within 6 months of that scam breaking out, BJP did excellently well, winning nearly 170 seats. So I don't think corruption or Tomar's son's video will have that impact on elections in Madhya Pradesh.
No, Rahul,
So what's Madhya Pradesh looking like to you? You've been writing for us, have been reading your pieces very carefully. Give our viewers a sense of your net assessment of how this state looks just ahead of polling.
I think Congress, which appeared to have a clear edge, say 6 months ago, it still has an edge. But it seems BJP has managed to worm its way back in contention, thanks to this Ladli Behna Yojana, with nearly 1.32 crore beneficiaries. And number of women voters in Madhya Pradesh is about 2.70 crore. So that's a huge number. But I am not sure whether this strategy of distancing Shivraj Singh Chauhan as a CM face or as a factor in Madhya Pradesh will help BJP's cause. It seems after sidelining him in the first few months, he has come back in contention. And unlike, say, Congress has a clear face in Madhya Pradesh. Everybody knows who they will be voting for. They did vote in last election, 2018, though the margin of BJP just got 47,827 votes more than Congress, but they fell short by 5 seats. So that's not a...
Rajdeep, do you think this confusion that Milind Gadhwai is talking about around the position of Shivraj Singh Chauhan, initially it seemed the BJP was sidelining him, cutting him to size towards the end in the last round of ticket distribution, and in the campaigns he seems to have been given more pride of place. Has that confused voters to some extent in your view, or does it make no difference?
You know, I'm not sure what kind of a difference it makes, Rahul, but I just written a column where I've said that the new BJP in Madhya Pradesh is a bit like the old Congress. And the Congress is a slice of the original BJP. What do I mean by that? You know, this kind of factionalism, this kind of unwillingness to project a proven state leader, 4-time chief minister like Shivraj Singh Chauhan, suggests that on the ground there is a disconnect between the central leadership and the Karyakarta. You see, Shivraj Singh Chauhan is not an unpopular leader. You know, he is Mamaji, as he's affectionately called. There may be a fatigue factor, and the BJP's tracker polls may well have picked this a few months ago, which is why the BJP decided, let's not put all our eggs in Shivraj's basket, let's have a dozen leaders. But by the time the second list came, I think the BJP recognized, all said and done, Shivraj Singh Chauhan remains their most appealing face, the one most likely to be able to connect with the voters. I think it suggests to me what the problems that the BJP has had in having a very highly centralized high command structure, that in Madhya Pradesh got disconnected from its Karyakartas. There are Karyakartas who are disillusioned with the manner in which defections were engineered, and all the defectors from the Congress have got tickets. Or that they are disillusioned with the fact that you've got ministers and MPs contesting, thereby ignoring those who work for the party for 10 or 20 years. So in a strange way, the BJP is not just fighting the Congress in Madhya Pradesh, it's also fighting the BJP itself. Now, this is what we would often say about the Congress party. Interestingly, for one election, at least the Congress appears a little bit more united. They put all their eggs in Kamal Nath's basket. Digvijay Singh is the one who's doing the worker connect on the ground, but Kamal Nath is the face. In fact, I was astonished that in most posters, you don't see the Gandhi family. This is a party which has been umbilically tied to this first family, but in Madhya Pradesh, most of the posters have Kamal Nath towering even over the Gandhi family. So my sense is that if this election is highly localized, as I believe it will be, the battle will be constituency by constituency. And I agree that the tribal votes will be critical in areas like Malwa, Nimad. and the fact that the Congress didn't go in for any kind of arrangement, adjustment with parties like the Samajwadi Party, possibly the BSP, could cost it in areas like Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand. And if it goes down to the wire, they may well live to regret it. I just don't know. The only X factor I keep reiterating is Ladli Behna. If Ladli Behna has struck a chord with people, it's advantage Shivraj Singh and BJP, and I did see it striking a chord in some areas. On the other hand, the disillusionment among youth and traditional BJP voters means in some places the BJP cannot be guaranteed of victories like they were in the past. So I see a genuine kaate ki takkar, where I think these last few days and voter turnout will make a huge difference to the final verdict.
Amitabh Tiwari, the Prime Minister, going to Jharkhand, building on the connection with Birsa Munda, the tribal leader, hoping in part to encash on that electorally in Chattisgarh and in the tribal areas of Madhya Pradesh. Is that something that could help the BJP, you think, swing the tribal voters at this last moment? Because it's rather interesting that the Prime Minister is spending 2 days in Jharkhand when the elections in MP and Chhattisgarh are at their peak.
Yeah, see, the tribal vote is fairly important with 21% population. And Congress had won 30 of the 47 seats in 2018. So to woo this tribal voter, the Prime Minister has visited Jharkhand and is likely to also launch, or may have already launched, the 24,000 crore targeted outreach to the tribals. Of course, the tribal vote is the kingmaker in 47 reserved seats, and the SC and the ST voters combined have more than 25% population in 137 odd seats. So it's fairly important, but it may be too late in the day to convey this announcement to the booth level, because the tribal population or the tribal areas may not have that significantly high internet connectivity as other areas, number one. However, the Ladli Behna Yojana, because of the transfer of the money, see, a cash received today is much more valuable than cash to be received in the future, because future is uncertain, risky. This scheme is doing particularly well in the ST belt of Mahakaushal as well as Nimad, and that's why we see BJP gaining in these two areas. The election is a lot about many conflicting and competing trends. Shivraj, the CM face, but is still the most popular leader, as Rajiv ji is saying, and Parivartan is the buzzword. But Parivartan from whom? Parivartan of Shivraj or Parivartan of the BJP government? By not announcing Shivraj Singh Chauhan, BJP has soothed the nerves of many BJP voters who wanted a change. Now the BJP voters who dislike Shivraj perhaps now see that maybe Shivraj is going to be eased out, and that set of voters is likely to stay.
No, but that's, Yashwant Deshmukh, a double-edged sword. If you've got a good batsman, you don't want him to be captain, but he's not so bad that you need to throw him out either. You kind of take, you make it uncertain who your captain will be. Does that then confuse the voters, or do you think if they're actually able to pull it off, it'll be in hindsight called an electoral masterstroke?
Well, it will. It all depend on what kind of result will come out. But definitely, if you have to make the changes, you need to make the changes early. At the 11th hour, when you are trying to change your most popular face, by the way. I mean, the problem with the BJP is they are trying to change the faces, not just in MP, but even in case of Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. They're most popular ones, and they don't have an alternative. So that is where I guess that, the script is kind of embarrassed, even though we know for sure if this thing works out on the 3rd of December, we will be saying it was a master stroke of sort. But whatever the data that has been suggesting and on the ground reporting, you just heard Rajdeep as well, and other grounder reporting, Shivraj Singh Chauhan is not at all unpopular. There is no anger individually. Yes, there is a fatigue, but is that fatigue against Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the individual, or is the fatigue against the government or the large number of sitting MLAs who are in their multiple terms winning combination? That remains to be seen. So fatigue is not equivalent to anger. If the BJP, even though it ended up in the losing cost in Karnataka, Rahul, but they did make the change significantly earlier. Things were clear that they were planning for future. Here in this case, somehow this entire message is lost that they are planning for future, because if there is a future, what kind of leadership they are trying to project in. So it's very un-BJP-ish in that way.
Okay.
Because BJP has been always on the hump that, declare your face, go for the captain, go under a proper fight, under a captaincy. This is very, very un-BJP-ish.
Okay. Well, the Congress being un-Congress-like, the BJP being un-BJP-like, and we have a cracker of an election. So, Tuhin and Charan Singh Sapra can stress as much as they do. If you have no skin in the game, and if you're only looking at it electorally and cephalogically, you will, on the 3rd of December, ladies and gentlemen, have a cracker of a contest. And the kind of analytics we'll be able to do for you live on the election intelligence dashboard, unparalleled, unprecedented. I'm out of time, Tuhin. I'm totally out of time. But I'd love to have you back again to talk about Battleground Madhya Pradesh. What a fascinating contest. We've been able to track some of its dimensions through voices that have been on the ground, through our data, and we'll keep doing that in all the 5 election-bound states. For tuning in, thank you very much.